everybody. We are back with the Earlene and Steve show, and we are legitimately live because we just can be. And we've got an awesome studio today. I am in the background, and welcome to the show, Miss Earlene. How are you today?
Well, I'm pretty good. I just got caught off guard, but that's okay. I can roll with that.
I know it, right? Surprises are always coming.
I don't mind at all.
I know. Well, look, we got two guests. Introduce our guests today.
All right,
I'm excited.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say that we're going to talk about hunting.
Hunting.
So that's why I have Colin and Otto on here to talk about hunting with us, because I could talk about it, but it wouldn't be very interesting or factual. So they're going to be it. So this is Colin Tate. This is Otto Thorworth. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You're correct.
I always like I like the way it feels.
I'm just going to say Otto.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it simple. So you've already done the introduction. We're good. I got them in. No, just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But it is hard to say your last name. But a lot of people mess mine up all the time because they say Lack or LASIK and I'm like,
Or Bohannon.
Bohannon.
We're called Bohannon.
Bohannon.
Yeah.
I can see that. It's all good.
But anyway.
We're glad to have you on the show.
Yes.
Otto is one of our writers. Colin also works and helps with the newspaper staff with the sales and stuff. And, of course, family, right, with the business. And so we're glad to have you guys in studio today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand that this weekend I can't tell this story. So in Texas, in Abilene, Texas, there is a quite famous, well-known restaurant called Perini Ranch. And one of the things that they have on their menu is little dove legs, I guess. Quail legs. No, it's quail. It's quail legs. So not even the same thing. It's quail legs, and people buy
About the same
them.
size.
They're about the same size, right? So how many doves would you have to have for a...
You don't think quail and dove are about the same size?
No, quail
not
are
even
much
close.
bigger than dove. Doves are like this
Depends on
big.
where you kill them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know that quails are bigger. So anyway, we're gonna chit chat.
I'm talking about the meat, but okay. You're good.
Anyway, so Otto has blessed us by coming into staff, and he kind of covers a lot of our ag stuff, and so he's reported really well on. He wrote about turkeys. He's written about the fishing. He's written about the thing that happened over at Broadbent with the deer. And so they both of these gentlemen have a lot of knowledge. And so I asked them both, I said, can you come on the show and talk a little bit about hunting? Because I'm just going to talk about, the dumplings my mom made or something like that. I'm not going to get into it. And both
Squirrel
of them will.
stew.
Yeah. So here's my first question. Did you both go hunting this weekend?
Yes.
No.
Okay, very good. But tell us, so you can tell us about the hunting, but upcoming is bow hunting, right?
Right.
And so let's talk about that. So the things that we should really probably talk about is what happened this past weekend with the dove hunts, and I know that it was opening season. Did I get that right? Okay, and then what's coming up is the bow hunting, and we can talk a little bit about the difference between
That's bow hunting, not Bohannon.
bow hunting. That's right.
It literally almost. It
almost sounds
We're talking
the
about
same.
bow hunting instead of Bohannon.
That's
No,
right.
just kidding. It's
So
funny.
anyway,
Sorry. I highlight that.
we can discuss that a little bit. So tell us what your weekend was like, Colin.
I mean, obviously, like anytime you come into July, August, you always think about getting into hunting season, right? So we've been prepping all summer. We've been chomping at the bit. Bullfrog is about the only thing that you can really go out and get.
What time were you up and out?
Oh, no, we did. Dove season ain't bad. In Kentucky, it opens at noon.
Oh, okay.
So, you get out there 9, 10 o'clock, kind of get everything ready, watch the birds for a few hours. And then what we do essentially, taking a page out of Tony Brown's book. I know Tony Brown.
Yeah.
But we take a page out of his book, and we don't start until about 4 in the afternoon when they come in to feed.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And then we'll hunt them for about 3 hours and then leave them alone.
Okay.
And then that way we can probably get about 5 or 6 different hunts out of them. And then that's the best way to do it. So if you try to kill everything, which the limit's 15 per person.
I was getting ready to ask that. I
Yeah.
heard you earlier say that you'd gotten your limit, and I was wondering how much is a limit.
Yeah, it's 15. It used to be 16 for the longest time, and then, 3 or 4 years ago probably, they changed it to 15, which is fine. They still go down.
So you got your limit in one day of dove.
So it's daily.
Yeah,
So
okay,
you get
got it.
15 per day. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I was to go hunting today, I'd get 15 today.
How long does it take you to clean 15 dove?
Well, I'm kind of an expert.
Okay.
So I clean 15 in about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's not
really?
bad.
Yeah, pretty
So
quick.
you just pop their little heads off and go
No,
from
you
there?
well, without getting too graphic, you take the wings, pull them off, and then get up under the breast and kind of pull it out, and it all just comes apart in a section. I
Oh,
like to
okay.
save the heart too, just extra little bite.
Right.
And then you skin the breast, pulls right off like a sock, and then you fillet it out and throw it in a bucket. You know?
Oh, there you go.
Rinse
Oh,
everything
that
out.
sounds like
Super
you do
easy.
have a system down.
Yeah, it's super easy. And if everybody pitches in, if you killed 5 birds or you killed 15,
Yeah.
everybody pitches in and
So
helps
is
together.
there an age limit? Do you have to be a certain age to be able to go hunting? Do you know?
I would think, I would say no.
Because
Just
I
got to be able to handle
my
the gun.
brother going hunting really young. I want to say like 5.
Yeah, I started probably at 5, 6 years old with a single shot 410.
Right.
And it's
That's
just a
what
matter of
that's
being
what
able to
Liam
handle
has.
the gun.
A little Sears and Roebuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break her down, throw it in, and let her eat. Yeah.
Right.
So the age limit to go hunting by themselves, anybody under 12 are not required to have a hunting license, but anybody above 12, if you're born after January 1st of 1975, you are required to have a hunter safety course in order to go hunting. Otherwise, youth hunters 12 years under 12 may hunt without a license if accompanied by a licensed adult who can take control of the firearm. So you can't just, in dove hunting, have your child, 20 feet over there walking through a patch because they're under 12. You have to be able to grab that rifle and then move it when you're hunting with them. So it's very close connected to hunt under the age of 12. Now, does everybody follow that rule?
No.
Probably on their own property? No, but most fatherly hunters are going to make sure their kid learns the right way. So you want to be there to grab that firearm and point. No, keep it, because, kids are kids. They get distracted. Squirrel, no pun intended, but this is the best place to have a squirrel, or moment, but not too much.
I'm looking at, so I did a little bit of investigating so that I would have some at least decent questions to ask you guys. So one of the things that here is it's about baiting. So do you bait before you go hunting?
Nope.
So it's just chance.
So what we do is we put up a food plot, and I'm sure you know about it too. What we'll do is we'll go out and kill everything like weeds and Johnson grass and whatever, and then we'll plow it up, throw our seed, till it in, and then fertilize it. And then, like this year, Dad babied it. Dad was down there 2 or 3 times a week, loving on it and giving it what it needed.
Right.
And it was right before the good rain come in, so our sunflowers did great. And then right before season, you go through and bush hog strips.
Right.
One, easier to find the birds, easier to traverse, and kind of put some stuff on the ground for them to eat. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Naturally,
Yeah.
And
from a
that's
natural
totally-
growth plot.
So
Yes.
in a way, it's baiting, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's,
you're not
it's
going out
totally
there
legal.
tossing
You're not
out
just going out
corn.
throwing.
No,
birds.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're growing their natural habitat.
Well, I see no difference in that than, y'all are going to laugh, but like a butterfly garden. People plant gardens because
To
they want
attract
to
them.
they want to attract the butterflies. So you guys are planting certain things to attract the.
That's
the
good to know.
I get it. I think that's totally fine. What about decoys? Do you guys do that?
Yeah, we do mojos.
Yeah.
We'll run out the little wings spin like a little helicopter.
Do they like those?
They love them.
It doesn't scare them off.
No, it actually draws them. I'd never dove hunted my whole life. Never used a mojo till about 3 years ago, and they just had one in the store, and I thought, why not? It works great on ducks. And I put this thing on a fence, and I mean, there would be birds a quarter mile away flying in opposite direction, and they would see that thing, and it was just like a moth to a flame. They just, because there they are, they're landing over there, and they just, and
How
and it
cool
helps
is that?
bring them to your location.
Right.
If you're hunting a 50-acre field and you got a mojo sitting in front of you, then all of a sudden you're the place to land. And
That's
so it
pretty
really
cool.
helps.
Yeah, that's-
Sometimes they'll mess you up too, because they'll be coming in. If you have a bunch of people in a field
Yeah.
and no one's in the middle, and you have your mojos in the middle, that bird will come in, and then he'll dive down towards that mojo, and you're like, well, low bird, can't shoot.
Yeah.
Somebody else is right over there.
Oh,
So
okay.
it'll
All
mess you up a little
Very
bit,
good.
but
So
they're
talk
good.
to me a little bit about how you should dress when you're going hunting.
I would honestly dress like this with khaki pants.
Okay, so you don't
You-
put on an orange vest or anything?
No.
No. I don't have
Well, let's break that down. Because I've been hunting in South Dakota. Okay, big fields, not your property, but you go hunting. So there are different locations. So if you're going to like a paid for location, typically you got to wear the hunter safety orange. But your guys are talking about, I'm going out to our family farm and hunting. And when you're there, you're not worried about other hunters because it's private property. But if you are on game lands or it's always advised to wear like safety items, that orange, that hunter orange. While it doesn't necessarily affect your ability to hunt, it does help to like your point about, low bird and making sure that everybody's also following the same rules, that if I do go after there's spot orange, lift my gun back up in case I forget to where I'm carrying. You know what I mean? Because the people you hunt with, you might be great, but it's the people that you don't hunt with that you don't know how they hunt. And so that safety just comes out. So it's really measured based on where you go. If I'm going out to my family farm, yeah, I'm just getting out of the truck, grabbing the shotgun off the back, like it used to be in Texas, where you just had your shotguns laying on the back window. It was very common.
It was that way in Kentucky when I was in high school.
Yeah, but now today with everybody's PC in mind or whatever, it's just ridiculous because I've never had a problem. That gun never killed anybody sitting in the rack of my truck unless somebody grabbed it. But anyway, that's a different subject for another day. But yeah, I get that because you guys have hundreds of acres out in Breck County. Yeah. So where do you go, Otto?
This year I didn't. I'm new to.
Are you gonna go?
Brandenburg. I'm hoping to meet some friends that have places.
Otto,
if there's anybody watching today,
Colin, meet Otto. Welcome to the family. Even Troy has a lot of acres out where he's at and stuff. He's got this one low section that's all field and farms it out to make sure it gets cut for hay and stuff. But to your point, there's good areas, but that comes to good maintenance of land too. So if you're a farm owner, it's not just about like I'm growing crops for the birds. There is an agricultural aspect to maintaining farmlands and wildlife preservation, and the DNR does a great job at hosting webinars, seminars, and stuff like that to help talk about that. And then plus, there's also subsidies for it because it's the migration of birds. As we cycle into this is our weekend, other states will start to fade in based off the migration cycle, which is an interesting part of the whole hunting cycle as well. So, and we play a part in that. Yeah, landowners play a part in that for other people's locations.
Right. So, Colin, how many of you guys went hunting?
There's probably about a dozen of us.
A dozen of you?
Yeah.
That's good. So was it like a mix of friends and family?
Yeah, it's mostly friends and family. Most of it was family, obviously. Right. And then what you do is, you circle the field 40 yards apart and wear it out.
And did all of you get your limit?
No, I think there's about 5 of us that got our limit.
All right, so go ahead.
I'd say Dad was having a pretty rough day.
Oh,
yeah.
No, not Ed.
He has a new gun, and he was trying it out, and it's kind of an antique, and it's a really cool piece. But
and it's weird because some days you go out and you're just on. I mean, I've had days where I go out and I kill a limit with 1 box of shells.
Really?
And then there's other days I may shoot 3 boxes of shells and barely get 15 birds. You just, wind can make a big difference, with the winds blowing and just a lot of factors.
And where you're at.
Where you're at,
Where they're coming in.
If you're sitting in the spot, like he was telling me earlier, he was in the sweet spot this weekend.
So, how long is dove season?
It'll go, was it 6 weeks? It's like October, I think.
So this weekend you could do dove or bow hunting for deer? Okay, so Otto, you're planning on going bow hunting?
I'm hoping to.
Okay, so tell us about that. How will that work?
Well, bow season is a great way to extend your deer season. I've been practicing since probably the end of July. I've got a 3D elk target out in my yard, and I shoot every chance I get.
Right.
Even if it's just 3 or 4 rounds in the afternoon. And it's just a great way, like I said, to extend the season. You get out there when it's not freezing cold. And, if you're targeting certain deer, certain bucks, it gives you a jump.
So you're going for buck, not
you can do either.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, you get a doe ticket, and obviously if there's a trophy there, and I think how many? I forget. Is it we get 1 buck per archery season, or is it just for the whole season in general? Because it goes archery, then gun, then archery, and muzzleloader.
Right.
I can't remember if it's 1 buck for the whole season or if it is it.
Yeah, it's 1 per season. So you can get one for archery, one for muzzleloader, one for modern gun.
Yeah.
And then
So if you didn't get it in the first round of bow, then you could get it in the second round of bow season, which is after gun season, muzzleloader.
bow season goes all the
the
time.
bow season goes
Yeah.
all the way through.
Okay.
From October.
Well, that's what I meant. It's you're not going to carry a bow and are you? No.
I don't know.
I guess you
Some-
could.
some-
Okay, I got it. Well, that sucker's out there. I'm gonna go get him. I
mean,
saw.
you can-
Okay, I guess I
you
get
have
that.
that little deal with your.
Get the one on the back and the,
Or,
your
or,
arrows in.
or you're not suggesting that you shoot $2 with a gun and then go stick an arrow through it? Then
No,
okay, no, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
we're
just
not going
kidding.
to break the law.
I'm just kidding.
I used to be a very avid archer hunter,
Mm-hmm.
where that was all I did most of the time. But if I got up into the middle of the rut and I still haven't let an arrow fly yet, a lot of times I would take my rifle, hang it on, put a little screw in, hang it behind me just in case.
Yeah.
That deer comes out at 100 yards and you can't
Yeah,
get it.
I
with
got
the
it.
bow.
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
But-
So you want to stick it? Your preference is to stick it with the bow.
Right.
I
I
got
just
it.
like the sport.
I got it. No, I'm with you.
oh, dude, bow hunting's so much different. Like with a gun, you can make 300, 400, 500-yard shots
Yeah.
and still be confident and be able to, harvest the animal and take it down
Safely,
humanely.
yeah.
Yeah, and safely. But with a bow, 70 yards, 75 is like maximum.
Right.
That's
So-
pushing it.
Yeah, and you want to make sure you make a good shot. You don't want it to suffer or anything.
Where do you want to
be
shoot
clean.
them at on their body?
Right behind the shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, gun or bow.
Most times. And that's what bow hunting does. It adds a whole different level.
Yeah.
You have
gotta
to
be
get
a
so
lot
much
more
closer.
conscious of your scent, your stand placement. It's just so many more factors come in with bow hunting versus gun. Like he said, with a gun, you can have they're 200 yards away, has no clue you're in the woods.
Right.
Where with the bow, not only are they close, but then you got to be able to draw all these kind of things. You got to figure in, okay, how far is he? What's the yardage to him?
Right.
Because if you judge, you think he's 20 and he's 30, that arrow's going to go low or go high. You're going to miss. So it's just a lot. For me, it's a lot more of a challenge.
So you enjoy the bow hunting?
I do.
more
I
so.
grew up hunting, but with a gun,
Uh-huh.
and it got to a point in my mid-20s where it was just like, there's no challenge to this anymore.
Right.
Every time I
Easy.
go, I kill a deer.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to put the gun away and start bow hunting. And that's what I did for probably 15, 20 years.
So you wrote about that. One of your first stories that you submitted to the Meade County Messenger was about the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So do you only shoot turkey with a gun, or can you do bow hunting with turkeys as well?
You can bow hunt for turkeys. I have tried it once or twice. It is extremely difficult
I bet.
because their eyes are so good.
Uh-huh.
I mean, their sight is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard unless you're in a ground blind, like one of those pop-up blinds. And
Oh,
even then, it's tough.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just really hard to do with the bow. So most of the time when I'm turkey hunting, I'm using a shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
And the crazy thing too is like with turkey hunting, like he's talking, like they can see you blink from 100 yards away.
Oh my goodness.
But me and you can be sitting right here, and he can be 20 yards out, and I can talk to you like this. He won't know you're there.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if it's a deer, you're
Yeah.
busted.
Yeah,
Like,
the
they're
ear.
gone.
Yeah,
They know.
you'll notice by the one ear flipping back towards you, and the other one's still focused on what they were until you
Right.
spoke, and now it's a whole nother attention. And that could be a crack of a stick. That's why it makes it even bow hunting. Like if you're stalking, that's even harder because that's where you got to be quiet. But most people will deer stand it or blind. So
And that's something else that I've enjoyed. I've picked up kind of over the last several years is going through the muzzleloading season. The black
Explain
powder.
that. I don't even know what you guys
Okay,
were talking
black-
about when you said that.
think of
Muzzleloading.
muskets in
I
the
understand-
Revolutionary
well, I
War.
understand guns and I understand bow hunting.
It's
but
black powder. You're pouring, or well, nowadays you put pellets.
Yeah.
When I started, you poured powder down the barrel, then you put a patch, then a bullet, and you cram it down just like Revolutionary War.
Right.
Put a cap on and shoot. It made it. Nowadays they have inline muzzle loaders. You can shoot 250 yards, 300 yards, no problem. Back then it was kind of like the gun version of bow hunting.
Right.
I mean, we literally shot round balls.
A lot of wars could be won with the current level of muzzleloader today from back in the day. Yeah, that's
And moisture would come into play if it was a
Right.
misty day or rainy day. Then you had to put something over the end of your
crack the
gun to
cap.
keep
Yeah.
the powder from getting wet. And I don't know how many times as a young kid you lay down, you pull the trigger and it snaps and nothing happens, and you're just like, oh man, now what? You're waiting, you're holding, hoping that that flame's going to get to the fire eventually, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Then you're scared to death to do anything with the gun.
Oh my goodness, that would be nerve-wracking. So when I was looking up questions for this, one of the things I saw was, that people are practicing are getting ready for deer season, and it said that lots of times people will practice up because they want to have that feel because they're going to be in a tree stand and they're going to be shooting down. Yeah. So what is how high do you put a tree stand? I probably go on the upper side of that. I'm usually like 25, 30 foot. This is where I feel comfortable that I can get up enough that I'm out of there.
Now, Otto, I'm not picking on you, but is that because you're a horse racer and you like to be taller than everything? Or is that because that's just a better visual for you and how your depth perception works?
For me, it was just getting out of their line of sight.
Oh, okay.
And that I did that for years. And I had friends that I would take hunting and be like, hey, I got this stand down here, and they'd come back later. I'm like, dude, I couldn't get in that stand. That thing was way
up
high.
there. Okay, gotcha.
And the stands are little. I use lock on.
Right.
You ratchet with a strap, and they're literally, a foot and a half by 2 foot.
Don't fall asleep.
Yeah. And I will say this, though. 2 years ago, I was in a stand, and the ratchet broke.
Oh, yeah.
And I did a belly flop from 30 feet up.
Ah!
And broke 5 ribs and punctured the lung.
And still had to climb up to get your gun down off the hook.
Myself.
No.
Were you by yourself?
It knocked me out. I woke up face down on the ground, blood everywhere. Had no idea where it came from. Got up, took myself to the car, took myself to the ER.
Oh, my gosh.
Spent 3 days in the ICU in Louisville.
Oh, my gosh.
So
are you
since
kidding
then,
me?
I hunt about 12, 14 foot off the ground.
Wow. Yeah. I got it. Okay.
So how long of a break did you have between that happening and going back to hunting again?
I was right back at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't.
So can you walk?
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I know. I'm with you, man. You get a set of cracked ribs, you can't breathe. I mean, don't even get me to laugh or even pass gas because the slightest movement outside of my little breath, you don't want that because it's so painful.
Brutal.
And there's nothing you can do.
No,
you can
just
tighten
wait.
them wrap or whatever just to kind of help compress so you don't, expand beyond a certain. Oh Lord, it's painful.
Yeah, it's brutal.
So you didn't hurt any organs or anything when you fell?
I did not really. I mean, I had just a small laceration.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good.
I mean, it was basically just
You just put some dirt on it and walked out, didn't you?
I broke a rib that was underneath my collarbone.
Oh, no.
And they said normally the only time they see that is in car wrecks.
Wow.
T-bone.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But I T-boned a log about 4 inches
I bet
round.
you did.
And when I fell out of the tree, my chest landed right across this log. And it just...
Man.
So, you know what?
fortunate.
You just gave me a new idea for a hunting safety. I'm going to go invent it now.
Get your harness.
No, I'm going to create the boom airbag. Goes right around the tree.
I like
All
it.
you got to do is if you come off that snap, it goes boom, inflated, and then you'll land safely.
Kind of like those fishing life jackets they got.
That's it. You got it.
hits 'em,
That's
take off,
it.
yeah.
We could do that. Let's go. All right. Affiliate marketing. Here we come. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway. So one of the things.
All right. We'll bring you back into the conversation early. No, here you
I
go.
know that
You're good. We could do this all day.
Time. So we were talking earlier. So Colin has lots of places to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Otto is looking for places to hunt. So how does that work? What if you really do enjoy hunting? You're looking forward to hunting, but you have no access to land to hunt. What's the first thing you should do?
The first thing I did was start looking at public land that's available. And we just talked about Yellow Bank
Yellow Bank.
Wildlife Management Area over here. I went there and turkey hunted last year. And because I knew nobody here.
Sure.
And I wanted to turkey hunt.
Well, that's growing now, right?
And man, there was a
everywhere.
Hunter. It seemed like there was a hunter behind every tree.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I did not have a good experience.
Gotcha.
But there were birds there, but everybody was going after the same bird.
Okay.
You know, one would gobble and there'd be 6 guys try to rush up and set up on them.
I'm going to have to work with you and help you with the Fort Knox community, too, because you get out to range control, get your permit. We, of course, Meade County abates Fort Knox. But when Otter Creek comes under Fort Knox. Means you can access Fort Knox through Otter Creek and still go out into some of those zones and go hunt. But, I don't know how they're going to lay that out. Yet, but we get range control on here all the time and stuff, and I know the land management folks and the wildlife supervisors that work out there, but they have a website you can go to, and of course you got to have your license to hunt, but then you get their license, and then you have to have your guns registered with there's a lot more steps, but when you think about our neighboring lanes and where you can access the Fort Knox ranges that are not always active, there's some really good deer that come out of there.
Well, and also now that you're here, I mean, we know so many people that have land, and so that was I never heard that discussion anywhere the whole time I was growing up. Nobody ever wondered. Where
that was me growing up. I had tons of places, people that I knew,
or even
grew up with, families
land
like
would
Colin,
border into your dad's land, and maybe it'd be your uncle's land beyond that, and so we all got.
Now I have been known to cheat a little, being in the movie Secretariat.
Yes.
And writing an autobiography about my experience.
Yeah.
I found places that I wanted to hunt, and I would knock on the door, and if the people didn't answer, I would leave a copy of my autobiography and tell them, this is who I am.
Right.
I'd like to hunt on your land.
I was wondering if I could hunt your land. And you'd be amazed how many people want the movie star to come hunt their property.
Well, I reckon they did.
Just so they can say that he did.
That's right. That's all right.
And I was like, whatever it takes to get my foot in the door.
I see nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you weren't not kind and generous, I would maybe think, oh, look at that snot rocket.
Yeah.
Trying to do it. But no, you're not. You're a very, very nice and humble young man.
Well,
so I would
Oh,
definitely do
she
that.
called you young,
have
like
any
me too. Yeah. You don't want to go out to Catbird Road and hunt right there. Daddy might get in
there's plenty
trouble.
of deer on
Eddie might get in
Catbird
trouble.
Road.
Yeah, there are.
No, we're actually, well, I'm not at liberty to say, but when we get off the air, I'll talk to you.
No, there's.
Speaking of Catbird Road, it's completely non-hunting affiliated. But the other morning, one of your neighbors put a post up on Facebook saying that they were getting rid of their electric lawnmower. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
And so I was like,
Did you go get it?
because I have an electric, but the problem is I run out of battery a lot of
Right,
times
yeah.
before the yard gets done.
Which kind of battery? Which kind of electric mower? I know this is totally off topic. As I have the DeWalt one that they came out with was the original 40 volt one, the big battery, and I just actually they were on sale. Affiliate marketing. I should just get credit for this. But the batteries, the 7.5, are on sale for the 40 volt.
Yeah.
For $69 a piece. Regularly $139 for a 7.5
This was
lithium.
This was a Craftsman.
Yeah, it was at the Stafford's old house. Now, that's not the name of the family that's moving out, but we always call it the Stafford's old house because that's who lived in it for so long.
Well, anyway, I bit the bait. I was like, man, I'll have two of them.
There you go.
And I don't run out of. It's cheaper.
Yeah, no,
It
I drove
is.
right past
It's free.
It is free. Charge it. Well,
It was free because it didn't work.
I love it.
I loaded it up, got it home, charged the battery, put it in.
Works.
Nothing.
Still not working.
No, not.
Couldn't get it to work.
Bring it over. I'll take a look at it.
I already
I
put
can
it in the
fix all that.
dumpster.
Oh, you didn't.
That's all right. That's okay.
You don't
I was
even
like,
know if
take
a
it.
new battery would work.
The battery charged. Battery looked great.
So it could be the
seemed like
motor.
it was the connection.
I got you. All right.
Non-hunting.
Okay, all
Part
right,
it out.
gentlemen. Today's topic is about hunting.
Hunting.
Not electric mowers. We'll bring that into the next episode as you clear your land for hunting season. No, I'm just kidding.
Understand.
So if somebody's sitting out there and they're watching this and they thought, I'm new to Kentucky. I'm new to Meade County. That seems to be the thing to do around here. I have no clue what to do. What is the very first thing they should do? Do they need to take that hunter safety course you were talking about?
Depending on their age, yeah.
Okay, so if you're a certain age, you don't have to take it.
Correct.
What are the ages that you do have to take it?
I think it's after 1975, I believe. If you're
Okay.
born
Yeah,
after 75.
So if you're born before 75,
Yeah.
you do not have to do it.
Yeah, some of us old fellas here grandfathered in. We're all right
Unfortunately,
here.
I fit in that
I
category.
feel that
Same.
category too.
We
Not
three.
Colin.
Yeah, no.
Three of the four at this table today. Yes.
But not all states are like. I went to Colorado several years ago, and I took hunter education when I was a kid. Passed it with flying colors, but hadn't seen my hunter education card in 30 years.
You're right.
And I went turkey hunting in Colorado, and they required everybody
To have it.
one. So I had to get online, contact somebody at the Arkansas Game and Fish to get a copy of my
Original
yeah.
certification.
original certification sent to this licensing place so I
Wow.
could get a hunt
That's
license.
interesting.
That is interesting.
So then if somebody wanted to go and purchase a gun, would they just go to a gun store or?
Well, I'm glad you brought up like the hunter safety thing, because like my whole thing, because I sold guns for 2 years.
Sure.
And what I would tell most people, since Kentucky is a concealed carry state, like it's a constitutional carry, you don't need a CCDW anymore
Right.
to carry a firearm
Right.
concealed. However, I learned a lot of stuff when I went to my CCDW course, and I learned a lot of stuff. So I'd recommend at least going to it
Right.
before you actually go hunting, because there's a lot of stuff that you can cover your butt, cover someone else's, like as far as like legally being in the right as opposed to being in the wrong, because there's a lot of
And the
little
other
laws.
thing too, I think if you do get a CCD course, you get your hunter safety course. One, there's always new information about safety, and there's always new technology. There's always something that you didn't know before. So even refresher training is great. But both of y'all bring up great points, because I'm a safety advocate. If there's an opportunity for somebody that's never done something before, and you don't have the upbringing under where the father grabs the gun and makes sure that you do it right, then you should start there, because I want to live when I'm in the woods, and I want to know that people are learning the right way. But the CC, they may not need their concealed carry permit anymore to carry. You're absolutely right. But I would tell you that if you're going to purchase a firearm, continue to purchase firearms in the state of Kentucky or those states that show reciprocity for it. It's much faster process, because you've already done all the background checks that you needed to make sure that you have it. And plus you're on the registry, so that if you did screw up and do something wrong, you'll be taken back off of it, and alarms will be going up because you're not allowed to buy anymore or have a gun. I mean, there's just so many goodness things that come from having that. And we always take a lot of flack as gun owners, I think, because of, the school shootings and other things and whatever. I would rather know that I'm doing my due diligence and be a trustworthy responsible. Thank you, gun owner. That's a word I couldn't get. Yeah. You got it. A responsible gun owner than to be put in the same mix of people who irresponsibly hold or use a gun. Yeah. Whether it's for hunting or nefarious purposes.
Right, right. I got you.
And then if you want to go like buy a gun, just look at what you're hunting and what's practical and what's affordable.
Now, you don't need a AR-15 to go shoot quail.
Good luck.
Definitely.
Buddy. You can hit quail
You got to
with
be a good shot.
I know. That's my whole point. Well, I like the AR-15. I can hit it. No, don't. But that's a great point. Right gun, right sport, right time, right space.
We do have gun ranges here, so you could go and practice.
Otter Creek's a great one.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I don't like the tubes.
I don't either.
Yeah, I didn't like those. Those were painful.
But it's
I get it. Yeah, but I mean, as long as
easy.
it is close, especially for you. Yeah, well, in your mom's house, but yeah. Otter Creek is nice. There's one. What's the one that's down like you're going to Shepherdsville the back way?
like Knob Creek.
Knob Creek.
Knob
That-
Creek.
That's a really good
one's
range.
Yeah, they run a well kept range there as
They
well.
Shout out to them, actually. Their range bosses, like the people who run the range, are on point. They do a great
They
job
do.
of,
Safety, yeah.
managing people and keeping everything safe and calling stuff out and keeping an eye on everything. They do a really good job.
Yeah,
I do
I've
like them.
never experienced a place like that
Yeah.
before. When I went there, I was just like, wow, these guys are like drill sergeants.
It's
on the
almost
line.
militaristic. Yeah, they're really good.
I like that.
But it keeps
Yeah.
everybody safe.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
no.
And you learn faster because you're sharp and you're not goofing around. And they're like, hello, let's pay attention. And then lots of times, people will pay attention and get that. So you don't have to have grown up in a family that were generations of hunters. I mean, I did. Obviously, you guys did. You can become a hunter. You can become a safe hunter. You can become somebody that puts meat on your table. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people, I know in my family in Texas, even right now, they get enough deer and they're able to process the deer to provide meat throughout the winter. And so, or even beyond that. And so a lot of people do it just for those purposes. And my hat's off to that. I think that hunting is a great way for you to hang out. It's a great way for you to get outside. For my family, we loved hunting season because of the legacy of it. Just because we all knew we were going to go to the home place. We all knew that we were going to be there. We knew that when the cousins were old enough to get to go hunting, it was like a rite of passage.
Oh yeah.
Off they'd go with their little guns and they'd come back and
Yeah.
then we'd sit up all night playing cards and cooking, and there was always coffee on the stove, and those are the kind of things that I love about hunting. It makes me excited. Of course, I know it's differently than what you guys do. So, what would you recommend to anybody? Do you think, like, would you tell them
Getting into hunting?
Yeah.
First of all, and I'm sure y'all can attest to this too. When you first get into hunting, it's expensive.
Okay.
It's well, they always say, deer meat some of the high, or wild game meat some of the highest meat out there, because
Right.
it takes a lot to get into it. But I can also be devil's advocate and say Johnny Cash built a Cadillac one piece at a time.
That's right.
And Fred Bear said, was it Fred Bear?
Yeah.
Said the best camouflage is sit down and
Sit
shut
down
up.
and shut up.
You know?
That's in his 10, what is it called?
Sit
The 10
down and
Commandments of
shut
Fred
up.
Bear.
I love that.
So just sit down and shut up.
Said your grandfather hunted in a red plaid shirt.
Yeah, the blue jeans. Yeah, smoking a cigar, or whatever. So it's all about how you approach it. If you want to find land, I'm sure you can attest to it too. Treat people's property with respect. If you open the gate, close the gate.
Yeah.
Never let the cattle out. Take care of it.
Right.
But also just be open and ask people, and you're gonna hear no.
Yeah.
It's like part of sales. You're gonna hear no a lot of times. But if you get that old farmer that's like, yeah, go out there, them deer have been tearing up my beans.
Right.
Go for it. As long as you have permission, verbal consent, and they're good with it, just respect their property and take care of it.
I've
That's
even
the
gone
biggest
as
thing.
far as to offer services to people. Like, I had this guy that I hunted with on his property in Indiana, and I noticed he had some trees fall in a storm
Right.
across some of his, they were like four-wheeler trails or, paths that he went back through his property on. And, I was like, hey, I could bring my chainsaw out and cut them up. And he's like, oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Just little things
Like a
like,
little
that.
bartering
that,
system.
kind of lets them know you, like you said, like you care. And like this same guy, he hated coyotes because he raised cattle.
Right.
And he's like, if you see a coyote, kill it.
Right.
And so I made sure. I mean, it didn't matter. I had times I was turkey hunting, had a bird coming
That's when the
in.
AR comes in.
Yeah, exactly. But I had times when I was turkey hunting, had a bird working coming in, and a coyote came in because he was listening to the call.
Right.
And I shot the coyote, messed up my turkey, just to honor the guy's wishes to take the coyotes
good
out.
for you, yeah.
And little things like that'll keep you in good graces.
Oh, yeah,
with
for
it.
sure. So, okay, so you've killed the animal. You've killed the deer, you killed the turkey, killed the dove. I know that you told us about how you process your own dove, but what if you need to take it to be processed? How does that work?
With deer, you have to have a tag. It has to be checked online or at a check station, and that has to be turned in with your
Which you can do at Webb's
deer.
and several other locations.
Yeah. And then you turn that in. They fill out the paperwork. That way they know that
So
deer
in the
was
field,
taken legally.
don't you have to cut the deer in the field?
Field dress it.
Yeah, you
So-
can field dress it.
So how do you learn how to field dress?
YouTube.
YouTube.
I didn't have YouTube when I was a kid. I was just taught by an older hunter that showed me how to do it. And,
Right.
Yeah, actually, the first guy that showed me how to field dress a deer was my 7th grade science teacher.
Oh.
And so he loved it. We had a whole anatomy class
Yeah.
out there in the woods. He's like, okay, cut here, do this, do that, pull that out. You know what this is?
Eat
You know
this.
What that is?
Oh,
Do
my
that.
goodness.
Yeah. And the craziest part with this guy was when we got home and we'd already field dressed it and we're fixing to skin it and all. We cut the horns off
Uh-huh.
and the brains are sitting there. And he looks at me as serious as a heart attack and says, "Are you going to eat those?" And I was like,
No.
wasn't
No,
planning on it.
no.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I'll take them then." And he scooped them into a bowl. He's like, "You scramble those with eggs. You
just
don't know what you're missing." And I was like, "I'm going to take your word for it."
I do not want
To
try
this
that
day, I've never
delicacy.
ate deer brains.
No,
Okay.
no,
And people do that with monkeys too overseas. It's funny.
no,
All right.
no.
I got it.
Okay, so we're field dressing, and then you take the rest of it to a place like Webb's or another
Yeah.
processing place.
Or you do like I do. I process all my own.
And
I have a
family does
grinder.
too. My family
Which
does.
that goes back to the cost, of course. Depending on the depth and that you want to go, sometimes it's just easier to drop it off too because people don't have time, right? So those kinds of places are great. But if you're hunting and you love the whole aspect of it, there's nothing like the part of the camaraderie where you got it field dress, you drug it out, now everybody's helping you cut it all up, and you've got them all hanging in the barn, and you're just
Yeah.
in the butcher shop, and you're running them through the sausage maker and
Yeah,
and all that stuff, or the smoker or whatever you're doing to get it down to jerky and all the other things that you're waiting for somebody to come around and hand you a bag of, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
but I think that's where it gets really expensive because the money you can spend on kitchen supplies just to do that once a year. But you have it for all game too, which is true. So I think that's just.
But look, people spend a lot of money on golfing or bowling.
Oh, they sure do.
Whatever.
I ain't never ate a golf ball.
I ain't never ate a golf ball.
Even if you're a runner, you spend a ton of money on the shoes.
Yeah.
So it's the thing is,
Pick your
is that
poison.
Yeah, that's right.
it's something that you're committed to doing, that you enjoy, gets you outside. I mean, I can't see a wrong here. I can't see anything unless. No, I just can't. See, I'm trying to find something wrong. I really can't.
Well,
The worst day hunting is still better than a good day at work.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that's an old common saying, but
It's
even
true.
if you're freezing your butt off and it's rain coming in sideways and you're soaking wet and you don't see anything all day, but that one doe comes out, and you see that one doe, that keeps you going for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like it's so good to be out there and get fresh air, let the stink blow off, just
Right.
being outside.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I like about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the peace that you find with you and your Lord, you know what I mean? That's the other part to me.
Solitude.
The complete solitude. And then sometimes I've needed so much rest. That's been the best place to rest. Just telling you.
Oh, I've slept many an hour.
Because
in
the
tree stand.
quietness is
Yeah.
just so soothing. It's better than a podcast with nothing but soothing sounds. It's just amazing to get away. But and then of course you wake up sometimes because you're dozing off or whatever. I love that doze off, and then there he is. How you doing? And they're waiting there for you. I'm here for you. You know what? I'm just gonna soak this in. You get a bye today or whatever. It's just amazing how that works out. Sometimes I don't know. That's my own story. So.
Yeah. There's nothing better than taking a nap in the middle of the day and then being awoke by crunching leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's a squirrel.
Yeah, I know. The squirrels are the worst.
Racing.
I think they're the worst, right? I mean, they know that you're dozing off, and they're like, "I'm gonna go," and then yours over here, and then you think there's something coming, and it's not. Yeah,
No, they time their steps.
Yeah, I bet they do.
time their steps
To sound like
just like
the
a
deer.
deer walking through.
Yeah.
And in your head, you can picture it, and you're like,
Oh, here it is.
That's it.
turn real
That's
slow,
it.
and he's just looks up at you and starts barking at you.
The only thing
Hey.
the only thing I don't ever want to experience from a stand here in Kentucky is that you're hunting for one game, but another game is hunting for you. A bear comes up or something like that. That's the only, I think, fearful thing that I would ever have, especially if you're in Colorado.
My friend has been hunted a couple times
Yeah.
by mountain lions.
Oh yeah. Oh.
He said
Self-defense.
he was turkey hunting. He said, I just felt this feeling like something
Yeah.
was watching me, and I looked out to the right, and there's a set of eyes.
Oh no. Yeah. Nothing worse than that, right?
Well, we had that bear killed out on 1638 a couple of years ago. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was a black
Black
bear,
Yeah, black
right?
bear.
Yeah, and so it must have come out of Otter Creek because it was in that same area. So we do have
Good thing
bears.
about black
yeah, we
bears,
do
those
have
black
wild-
bears are very
Timid.
They're like a deer.
They're
Yeah.
timid.
They want to
Yeah.
stay away from you as much as you don't want to be around them.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad you brought that up because this brings it back to a full circle point. Is hunting is not a cruel thing. A lot of people will say that's cruel, but honestly, there's a conservation that comes with hunting season. Our Fish, Game, and Wildlife does a great job on regulating the catch and everything else. If you did not have the hunter, I would tell you you don't need to wait for Armageddon to learn how to be a hunter. You should get into the sport now because we still don't come away with all of the take that we're supposed to in a season in order to maintain the positive control of the wildlife population. And when it does get out of hand, whether it's raccoons or coyotes and all those other things, then it comes into the inhabited places. And while we enjoy Meade County as being rural and farmland and all that other stuff, we still have a sizable population that can be a problem for. Even as if we overgrew it, go into our E-town neighbors or some of the other surrounding counties. But that is all designed with a purpose in mind, and that is so that those of us who do love the hobby and the thrill of the hunt, we can do